look at something about the blessing of darkness. Just to remind you, that's the bubble. Hi everyone, it's Aga. Today we're back with a new video about the Defiler healer. As usual, we'll look at the traits, go over a few tips, and have a look at the healing rotation. With the Defiler healer, there is a rotation. We'll also have a look at when to use buffs, heals, certain controls, and how to defend yourself when you're under attack. Let's get straight into the traits section. On the Defiler healer, I like to play with 4 vitality traits to make myself harder to take down. Personally, I use 4 resistance traits to get the extra 2% and 5% morale. I really like having loads of health on the Defiler. But you can also, for example, play with critical protection. You can put in 2, you can put in 4. It's really up to you. You can add more critical traits if you like, but personally I think having more than 4 doesn't make much of a difference. There you go. And then there's Mastery, the damage bonus. You don't care about it, so I wouldn't recommend it for Alia, of course. As usual, if you play with 2 critical protections, it's not bad. If you have 4, that's not bad, only that. Personally, I prefer to play like this, but it's really up to you. I use Flare of the Flesh to get more tactical mastery and crit, so that will boost your heals. So that's for Region the Tideless Warrior. There you are. So especially for power, it will help you avoid running out of power. Rage for more crit and, above all, more health. Blood offer to deal a bit of damage. And Warrior Against the Deep to reduce tactical damage. As for class traits, I'll use the Health and Armour bonus, quite simply to make myself harder to take down. I've also matched Cursing, which is essential in my opinion. If you're playing as a healer, it'll allow you to recover your cures, and most importantly, your buffs. Boons, that's this spell here in blue. You can see it says Boon. This will reduce the cooldown of each of your buff skills by 5 seconds. So, equip it. Enhanced Slim lets you have more healing. Again, it's crucial. Ancient Bones is essential. You get more origins. And the duration of your buffs will be better. It'll be stronger during the last 5 seconds. You have 3 buffs, 3 bones on your Defiler when you're in heal mode, which are actually quite good. We'll come back to that later. For your bones, I recommend Fungal Cursing and Ancient Bones to boost them. The Enhanced skill Fungal Sport is a must-have. Honestly, if you don't equip it, that's just not right. It will allow you to get more healing from one skill. So Fungal Sport is this one. And it also gives you a healing buff. We'll go over this in detail later. And the Answer Skill Efflorescence gives you more range on your heal, both in area. So I really do recommend playing like this. There are other traits that are interesting. Well, some people play with this one, but I don't think it's really essential. It improves your res, but personally I don't like playing with that. Some people play with the improved bubble, same for me. I wouldn't recommend it because it's a spell that can be powerful, but it can be easily interrupted. You can be stunned while in the bubble. That doesn't mean the spell is bad, but wasting a slot for that, you see, it's not great. Personally, I think the spell isn't strong enough to waste a trait on improving it. Same goes for the improved Blight. It's more likely to be the red Defiler who equips that. The fast slope, you don't care, you're an Ayla. As for the tribe trait, I recommend playing with the Blogmal, as it will reduce your skill induction by 15%. You have quite a bit of induction when you play Defilers. I recommend that when you're healing you always use the Blogmarl. That's it for the traits. Now we'll move on to the tips section. The very first tip that I really wanted to share with you today is the clever use of the fungal spore buff in order to significantly increase field restoration, which is currently your absolute strongest single target healing ability available. You can see here I've got a plus 15% incoming healing modifier, and in fact this will allow you to get better heals. Thank you! On all your healing abilities. But you can use on yourself or on your allies. Of course it works on allies. You can see here I'm applying the plus 15% buff. I'll take this opportunity to point out that when you use your heals over time, you have a chance to trigger another buff here, as you can see, which is stackable. So there's not much to know about it. It happens automatically when you heal. Just be aware of it, but don't pay too much attention to it either. What we're interested in here is the plus 15% heal modifier. So when you want to heal an ally, or yourself, let me remind you that's possible as well, before using your big heal, always apply the fungal spore first to get the extra 15% healing modifier. This will allow you to heal much more effectively. If you don't have your big heal available, use it first anyway. It will improve the other hots you put on yourself and your allies. But be aware that if you need to urgently heal an ally, many people will just click on the ability, always apply the fungal spore first. Even if your mate is taking heavy damage, then use your fail restoration afterwards. You'll have a much better chance of healing them effectively. 15% is nothing to sneeze at. So that's that. That was the first tip I wanted to share with you. For the second tip, it's not about a specific ability. It's simply when you're in a raid or even in a group. So here I'm going to group up with the two Horridors in front of me. Whenever you find yourself in a party or a large-scale raid environment, you really ought not to simply wait around for one of your allies to be attacked before you actually begin casting your restorative spells. When you're marching, you can't do your heals, but let's say the opponents start coming towards you. You need to prepare your heals in advance. You'll need to rotate through all your teammates. So if you're in a raid, prioritise doing it on your column. You know, in raids there are several columns like that which appear on the screen. To prioritise doing it on your column. Assume that the other columns in your raid are the responsibility of the other healers. Obviously, if you're the only healer, try to spread it around a bit to everyone, but you'll see that you won't be able to. Always remember to do this heal rotation, because actually it will help you manage your team's health better. With AoEs, area damage, or for example if someone aggroes you, targets you while they're aggroed on you. For example, if your allies take area damage while you're being focused, you'll still be able to heal them and you'll be able to, in fact, anticipate and absorb quite a lot of damage and future focus during fights. And this will also really help your war leaders who are in your team. So do remember this rotation. It all comes down to the 3 spells I activate. You've got Fungal Spore, Fungal Bloom, and the 30 Slim. After that you can also use Efflorescence, but the cooldown's longer. You can't spam it, so use it more as an opportunity when you see there's a lot of AoE, when quite a few people in your team are losing health at the same time. In fact, at that moment, pop it. Don't just use it as part of your rotation. Rotations are for your heals with fairly short cooldowns, so those are the ones I mentioned just before. You can see here I can spam them on my allies without any problem. And when you add up all the heals I do, I can guarantee you it will really bring your team back up. Right then, So that was actually tip number 2. So for the next one, we're going to look at something about the blessing of darkness. Just to remind you, that's the bubble. The wall leader needs to go to the other side. Otherwise it won't work. We'll let him go over there. You can see here, if I select my ally, the war leader, you can see that I can't use my bubble because he's not in line of sight. On the other hand, what you can do is not put yourself completely out in the open like this. For example, if you're fighting in the gas area, in the tyrant room, you can stand close to a wall like this. So here, your whole left flank's protected. There's just a bit in front of me and the right flank left exposed. Thank you. I'm calling the Defiler back. It's a character that's not extremely difficult mechanically, but it's very hard to master in terms of positioning. If you position yourself badly, you have a few controls to help you, but you don't really have an escape as such. Unlike the war leader, for example. You don't have a personal shield, so be very careful about how you position yourself. That's really going to make a difference. 75% of your gameplay. That's really where you're going to make the difference. To come back to the chips, so the shield. Here, if I activate the shield and the war leader goes behind the wall, you can see there on my screen, he's well behind the fire. You can see he's moving. He's come a bit closer to me, then he's going back behind again. And you can see that it doesn't cancel the shield, even though he's not inside. What you need to know is that you can't activate your shield if, to begin with, your ally isn't inside. But if you have them in sight at first, and then they move out of view, as I've just shown, it still works. So when you want to throw a shield, always try to... Well, obviously, if you're in an open space, that's not going to be possible. Because, well, there's nothing to protect you. But if you're playing in fairly tight spaces inside buildings, try to cover one of your flanks, either on the left or on the right. Behind you, it's not the same, because your ally will always be in front of you, since you're positioned on the back line, but at least your left flank or your right flank. Do keep that in mind. It can still make all the difference. It can force some enemies to come towards your position. To interrupt you, you might be able to buy a bit of time with the shield. We'll wait for the gentleman to come back. So, that was the tip I wanted to share with you about the shield. After that, I've already shown it. I'm going to need us to parry. There we go, perfect. It's a tip I'd already shown. When I did the tutorial for you on the dreaded red Defiler, you can do a control rotation between your slow, your stun and your fear. The difference when you're healing is that you're not going to have fun doing the rotation like that on someone. You're going to keep everything. Your control spells. You've got sticky feet, thunder eyes, your stun if you prefer, and you've got your ozone fear, which is, in my opinion, your best control. You're not going to have fun casting them just to interrupt someone or anything like that. You're going to keep them for yourself or at a push for another healer who's next to you. Normally, the other healers shouldn't be too far away from you. You need to keep them strategically so you can survive as long as possible in fights. Because if you're not there anymore, there's no more healing, so that's not good. Applying crowd control to opponents offensively is the job of other characters, like spiders for example, or even beats, polyrivers, but it's not yours. So, just to remind you, you can use a stun followed by a fear without the person gaining immunity. Next, here you can apply the slow. You can repeat this rotation in a different order. You can do fear, stun, slow, fear, slow, fear, slow, fear, fear, You can do fear, stun, slow, fear, slow, and then stun. These are 3 different types of control. Immunity won't work. If you have stun, the person... I'll do it the other way around. I'll fear them first. As soon as they're no longer feared, I'll stun them. See, there's no immunity. Make sure to keep these controls for defensive use. For example, you're in the middle of casting your spells. Now you've got a burglar coming up to you to interrupt you. For example, you can stun them, push them back, or apply a slow. And carry on healing your ally here. As soon as they're close to you again, you can fear them, add any heals you're missing, and so on. So there you go. That was the little tip regarding the game controls that I really wanted to share with you today, and I hope you find it quite useful for your gameplay. Let's quickly go over buffs. You shouldn't just apply buffs any old way. It's not a buff rotation that you just do blindly. You need to apply them to the right person at the right time. For the black net hearts, it's going to be a damage bonus. It's great if you apply it to Reavers, BAs or Wargs. Don't waste too much time applying them. What I recommend, something that's really good, it's to click on the target assist. And then you'll be able to apply this knowledge to them directly. Yeah, I think I did a duel. You can click here and apply the damage buff to the target assist. It's something I do very often. It's easy to do, you just need to give a quick click here. You won't be wasting your time clicking like this, haphazardly on your allies or in the column. You press on the target assist and you apply the bonus to it. All the more so as all your allies are supposed to be hitting the same target as your target assist. Casting the buff on the target assist, I find that the most efficient very often. And the target assist, of course, is always on DPS. There you go. So that's for the damage bonus. Next you have the toxic flash. So this will reduce the damage taken by your allies. The advantage here is that when you cast it, it creates an area effect. There, I've received it. Everyone within a certain radius of your ally will also receive the buff. The radius is 5, and the maximum number of targets is 5. Apply it to your backline if they're being pushed by the opposing raid, or else on your front line. So wargs, spiders that go into melee, or rivers. On rivers it's very, very good. It will allow them to hold out for longer. Next, you have the battle scred. This one will increase resistance and mitigation. Now be careful, this one's a bit trickier to apply. It's single target, so make sure you choose carefully who you apply it to. Again, for example, if your target assist is a river, that's fine. And if they're moving in for close combat in the melee, I recommend clicking on them and applying it. That's the simplest way. Afterwards, if your Reaver is at range because they can't get in, that's different. For example, you could cast it on a BA who's taking spells from a distance. That will do the job nicely. Don't overthink it, you don't need to spend ages figuring out who it's cast on, otherwise you'll just waste time. But on the other hand, you do need to cast it. With at least a bit of logic, your buffs, they need to be cast logically on the right people. Keep that firmly in mind. It's quite important. Next, the tip I wanted to share with you. The problem with a Defiler is that when you're casting, you've got 3 spells for healing. you've got Efflorescence, the Big Heal, Field Destruction and Fungal Bloom. You often get interrupted or stunned while you're casting. So what I actually recommend is, like you saw while I was casting, these are different spells. You saw that it's always the same animation. You can't really tell the difference. When you're facing you can't really tell the difference which spell you're casting. It's exactly the same animation, only the duration changes a bit. So actually, what I recommend is that you try to bait your opponent with this. If, for example, you need to heal yourself with your big heal, but your opponent is close to you and you don't have your crowd controls, you can do what's called a bait. You're going to make them think you're about to use your big ability. You could use, for example, Fungal Bloom, which has a cooldown of 4 seconds. One thing you could do, for instance, is exactly this. He didn't have time to interrupt me, but you can do that. The person will interrupt your spell, it'll cancel it, and you keep your big heal just after, so you can cast it. And then your opponent will have used their interrupt and won't be able to use it on your big spell. Afterwards they can still stun you, for example. What I sometimes do is bait. I do this, so they cancel that for me. And then, to secure my big heal, what I do is use the anti-stun potion, the Odorous Salts. So I sacrifice a potion, I gain immunity, and I do my big heal. So now they can't stun me, and their interrupt is gone because they've used it on my other spell. And so, logically, that pretty much guarantees my big heal. What you can do otherwise, if you don't have your potion, is bait them. So they interrupt you, alright, it didn't go off, then you use a fear and cast your big ability. That works as well. I've got loads of ways to bait them. You can also, for example, bait them twice in a row. You can bait them like that, and they'll interrupt you. You can stun them, do it again, they use another cooldown, you do it again, they get feared, and you use your big heal. Afterwards, it's up to you. There are several ways you can do it. But try to use your animations, because they all look the same. In fact, your strength is that all your animations look alike, and it's very hard for your opponent to tell the difference. It won't always be obvious. So don't hesitate to bait your opponent like that with another spell. There you go, they interrupt you, and then you can use a fear. Then you can cast Efflorescence. So now he comes back, you can bait him again like that, as I'm doing here. He interrupts you and you can send out the big heal. Alright, try to be a bit clever like that. Try to make him use up his cooldowns. And there you go. So, those were the tips I wanted to give you. I've already spoken to you a bit about the rotation. Now we're going to put ourselves in a situation where we're in a trio. We're being attacked. Here I'm putting my heels down. Why? There we go. So here I'm putting heals on everyone, more or less. Let's say there are some dots on my allies. Don't hesitate to use your Slick Flesh. It'll cleanse up to 2 harmful effects, on top of the buff it'll give you. There we are. So now I'm using Efflorescence. And so here, for example, let's imagine this war leader is taking damage, he's being focused, so now we're going to apply the buffs to him. Once that's done, you start your rotation again. Afterwards, keep a close eye on your allies' health bars and your own if you have any damage over time effects or debuffs. As soon as you have any, you need to cleanse them. Don't forget, this spell allows you to cleanse debuffs and damage over time effects. Use it every time. You do your rotation, and when there's an emergency, when someone is taking heavy focus, you can use field restoration. Remember the tips I gave you earlier. You repeat that, If you're close to your allies and you're taking heavy focus, you can use a control to slow down the push a bit. And you start that over again indefinitely. You do this all the time. You cast your heal over time on everyone. Then you apply your buffs, adapting as needed. From time to time you can put up a bubble or do a big heal. The main job is to do the spell rotation I'm showing you. You'll be constantly cleansing all the negative effects in a loop. You do this constantly, you never stop. And then for the debuts, blight or at. You can apply them, but that's not your main job, that's the job of the red Defiler. So that's occasional, but really keep doing your healing rotation on repeat. Make sure to apply your buffs properly. Remember to cleanse the negative effects. Don't forget about the tips I've given you. You'll do a much better job than a lot of Defilers. Because that's how you play Defiler. It's all about constant healing rotations. And that's really how you'll make a difference with your spells after the rest comes down to your positioning. So that just comes with practice. And there you go. That's everything I wanted to share with you about healing as a Defiler. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't hesitate to ask me questions in the comments. If you have any questions, or if you'd like me to cover a particular class in the next guide. And I'm currently preparing a new video format about a private server. I won't go into details, but there you have it. I'll be doing a presentation for a server. If you're interested, you can check out the little video series. It's going to be a short series. And that's everything I wanted to share today in this video. So, I'll see you next time. Take care.